Morrow's Photos, a podcast where we talk about stuff that I like. Welcome back to another episode of Morrow's Photos podcast, 911 files, stories. I've got tons of stories to when I was a jailer, a dispatcher, a police officer, a deputy, a cadet leader, and other positions like firefighter. And when you look at some of the stuff that I've heard, seen, and witnessed, which I know it's the same thing as seen, things are pretty crazy out there. I tell my students when I teach at the university, never violate someone's rights. Never. Don't force the situation. Don't try to make a traffic stop. Don't try to make a greatest of all time drug bust. Just let nature take its course, because we got these people out there, and some of y'all are, or some of those people, that the stuff is just going to hit the fan. Okay. When I was a firefighter and a cop, they used to call me a shit magnet, because as soon as I'd get on duty would hit the fan. Case in point, over there, my shift was 7 at night till 7 in the morning, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. As soon as I would get there, it was quiet, nothing going on, and then boom, I'm like, I just got to town. I would drive from San Angelo, Texas, over to Winters. All right. And I'd work these shifts, and it wasn't made to live there. All right. So I would go up there, do my job, and come home. And I would have the city manager years ago sent me a letter with names of people that I was not allowed to pull over. Okay. The city manager sent me a letter, and he named people that I couldn't pull over. The problem with that was I didn't live there. So I didn't know who these people were. I just treated everybody equal. So I wasn't looking for traffic stops necessarily. What I would do is I would just go out and do my job. See somebody speeding, you pull them over. See somebody running a red light, you pull them over. You see somebody run a stop sign, you pull them over. One of the things that I look at, and I know this isn't the story yet, but I'm getting there, is you make contact with people. You let them know that it's community, that you're the service to the community, and you're not a butthead. Now, cops, we see a lot of buttheads, and so we become one. Okay, they call it what is it? Cops disease, to where they become buttheads. They become hardened because we see so much drama and look at people just being at their worst many times. So, what I like to do, especially with the juveniles in our community, is to make contact with them. You don't have to give people tickets unless you just, whatever your limit is. All right. I'll get to that. So if I see, if I'm a new cop, how am I going to be able to mingle with my community and get in there and figure out what's going on and how I can help the community? I have to get in there and talk to people. I got to figure who's who. All right. I'm not talking about brown nosing. I'm not talking about putting your head up someone's rear. What I'm saying is, on a Friday night, the kids, they're somewhere. They're going to have fun. And I want them to have fun, but I want them to be safe. And when I would see them at the parking lot or over there at the gas station, all huddled up over there, I would go over there and check out their cars. Hey, man, what are you driving? Oh, no, pig, cop, whatever nasty things they would say. That's okay. I'm there to just let them know that I'm available to talk. All right. I go in there. Hey, man, what are you driving? Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, wow. That's neat. Hey, what are you jamming to? What's your favorite? I don't know. You just find an open door, okay, a foot in the door, and you just smooze with them a little bit. Okay. You don't want to become friends because you got a job to do. You got to stay professional. But what you do is you let them know you're available. You're open to talking. All right. You let them know who you are. Hey, you ever need me? Just holler at the office. Tell them, Officer Morrow. At that time, I think I was 806 was my unit number. Doesn't matter. But you just offer them a ticket, to talk to you. All right. And sometimes I would do that depending on what the situation was. I would, I would write something. Oh, here you go, and write them something. You got a ticket to come see me or something like that. All right. So you mingle with the youth, and you let them know that you're available to talk. You do the same thing to adults when you go out and about. Hey, I would drive around bored out of my mind. Okay. But when I would see people in the community, I waved, and they're like, he waved. Oh my gosh, what a concept, right? Now, sometimes, yes, you do have to pretend you don't see everything so you can get to the office or to an emergency to do what you got to do. Anyways, so you bridge that gap. Let's see. What story do I want to tell you? Hmm. Got it. So, back when I was a jailer and dispatcher for the Crockett County Sheriff's Office between 98 and 99, um, I went and rode with one of the deputies, Dan. What was Deputy Dan's last name? I'll have to remember that later. Anyways, so we were out cruising around in the evening. I don't remember. It had to be a weekend probably, because I would usually. Doesn't matter. All right, so out riding with the Deputy Griffin, I believe his name was, and we got a call of a drunk, intoxicated subject at the Crockett Apartments. So we go out there, and there was a commotion over there in the first building off to the left as you pull into the Crockett Apartments. The first building to your left. I guess I should turn this way. First birding to your left. And we go over there and started investigating the situation. And there was a Hispanic, older male subject, just way intoxicated. And he got belligerent and they wanted him out of the apartment. So, to make sure this thing ain't going to go. Yep, we're cool. So, Deputy Dan realizes that he starts to kind of, I don't want to go to jail. Oh, and he really hadn't done anything bad yet. Okay. He was in that gray zone to where, yeah, he was publicly intoxicated, but do we need to take him to jail because he was coming out of someone's apartment? So once Deputy Dan realized that this gentleman was way past the limit of intoxication, he decided to call the ambulance and have him checked out because he was worried about his health. Okay, he became what do you call that? He was endangering himself and others based on his intoxicity. I don't think that's the right way to say it, because he was way intoxicated. And so he put him under arrest, and we took him to the hospital and had him checked out. From there, we brought him in for public intoxication. At that time, we could not get an identification on the subject. So I'm over there. I'm the jailer. Deputy says, Officer Morrow, get identification off this subject. 10-4. All right. What's your name? Jesse James. Dude, what's your name? Jesse James. We went through this for like 30 freaking minutes. The subject had no identification on his person. We had the uh, system to where we could do like what was that called? What was that called? I want to say it was a sound X, but I don't think that's what it was called. But anyways, we had where we could put a description, Hispanic male, this age, this to try to look for it. But that's kind of like peeing in the wind at sometimes, and you don't want to do that. So, man, what's your name? Jesse James. What's your date of birth? All right, April 1st, 1963. All right. And this guy spoke a little broken English, but mostly Spanish. But we got there, okay? We hablo español, okay? And sent another officer in there that spoke Spanish. And that officer, uh, ¿Cómo se llama? Jesse James. Did I say it right? Anyways, so we got Jesse James. We're like, dude, this guy's pulling our chain. And just then, the door to the jail opened and a female subject came in, and she had paperwork. And she said, y'all brought my boyfriend in here a while ago? Yes. Here's his papers. He's illegal. He's from Mexico. He's not supposed to be here. Okay. What's his name? Do you have his date of birth? Yes. What is it? April 1st, 1963. All right, that checks out. Do you have his address? Morales. Okay, go ahead. Mexico. Gave me the address. Okay. Ma'am, do you have his ID or some sort of identification, please? You do? Can I have it? His name is Jesse James Sanchez.